Well, but Leila, you want to say something, I guess, with reference to what Vance said about the earlier resolution and what the demand of that resolution was.
Everybody mentions 1559 and everybody mentions 1701, but everybody keeps forgetting that in 1701, the United Nations said that there's a continued Israeli occupation of Lebanese territory. That's the northern part of the town of Ghajar. The Lebanese town of Ghajar is under Israeli occupation according to the United Nations itself. And in the implementation of 1701, there's a report that came from the United Nations a year after 1701 was issued, and it said the continued Israeli presence, military presence in the northern part of the Lebanese town of Ghajar constitutes a threat to peace in the area. So the idea is that the United Nations says that there's an occupation to the land. You cannot implement 1559 in terms of disarming people from, like, basically taking people's arms when those people are basically fighting an occupation, supposedly, when under international law it says if your land is occupied, you are entitled to hold arms and fight the occupation, irrespective if your government is against you or with you. And that was basically issued because of Charles de Gaulle and the Vichy government. The French government during Charles de Gaulle's time was against the French resistance, and it was pro the Nazi occupation of France. The same situation happens over here. You cannot implement 1559 when the United Nations itself is telling you that there's an occupied Lebanese territory that the Israelis continue to take over by force and by arms. So you have to be very careful when it comes to saying we want to implement this resolution and forget other resolutions and other international laws. I'm not defending anybody over here. I'm just stating the law as it is. Really, violations of Lebanese territorial, maritime, and airspace sovereignty on a daily basis that the United Nations interim forces in Lebanon, UNIFIL, continue to monitor and document and send to the Security Council on a daily basis. So there's a continued breach by the Israelis to 1701. They've never implemented it. So they cannot ask the Lebanese to implement 1701 when they themselves are not implementing it.
Okay, let me take